Hey Feasters, and welcome to episode 218. Whether you're a developer, designer, or drone photographer, you are going to learn the 4 absolute must-ask questions to have during your sales process. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. During any part of the sales process, whether it's a call, a form submission, or an email, there are critical and absolutes when it comes to questions to ask. This is true if you're a developer, a designer, a marketer, or even a photographer, or anything else for that matter. But before I jump into those must-haves, when you think about these questions to ask, think about the end first. What are you delivering? And then work backwards from there. It's so easy to get caught up in the emotions and the excitement of a new project and wanting to just jump ahead. If you want the project to be as successful as possible, just like the client does, make sure you are on the same page as the client from the start. The key thing to remember is not to assume anything. Cover all of your bases so that you both earn trust with each other and have a firm foothold on the project at hand. Just as an example, because I've run into it many times, if you're a developer and you need to work on an existing code base, don't assume that they have a code repository and different environments for testing things out. For any type of business that you are, don't assume that you're the only one working on the project. Make sure that you know who else is on the project as well so that it could be a collaborative effort. So, this leads me to the 4 questions you have to ask whether you're a designer, a developer, marketer, writer, photographer, whatever. The first question is, what are you looking to achieve? This can also be, why is this important right now for the business? Aside from any technology, there is a reason that the business has chosen this project right now, and it is important to understand why. The reason could be sales-based, it could be philosophy-based, it could be that they're looking to get investors. I've even heard some crazy things like the business owners just want to go on vacation. The underlying reason will set the path for success. The second question is, what does success look like in 6, 10, 12 months from now? This is important even on the smallest of projects that may only take you a couple of weeks. Understanding the vision the client has for the work that's about to be done is the measuring stick of happiness for them with you. If they expect 1,000 new users to sign up in 6 months, it's better to know that than doing the work and you are thinking that they would be happy with 100 or 500 even. The third question is, what does failure look like? This is important, especially when it comes from a prospective client or someone who has had a bad experience with a previous vendor or previous freelancer or consultant. Failure for you will be different than failure for the client. That I am sure of. So best to understand what that is so that you could steer clear of it at all costs. Oddly enough, failure for the client will probably be communication more often than not, which makes it easy for you since you can just always take 5 minutes at the end of the day to shoot them off an email and let them know what's going on with the project. The fourth and final absolute must-have question for you in your sales process is, why have you come to me? This is also, what is it that I do that interests you for us to work together, and other variations of this question. I don't always ask this explicitly because really sometimes I could tell by the way they got in touch with me, whether it was through a referral by someone or whether it was through a specific page on my website. Having this information is important because it's often that there are cheaper or more expensive options out there. There are also options that can provide a similar solution that you can. How they respond to this is telling of your uniqueness. It says a lot about you as a business and what you do differently than everyone else. These are the sales 101 questions you have to ask. Asking them as early on in the process will help you filter out those tire kickers, especially. So put these questions on your project forms, your applications, whatever it is that is the entry point into your business. If a lead cannot answer each of these with some level of conviction and thought behind them, then they are tire kickers. Tire kickers are those that have an idea for a project and are just looking for validation of that idea and scoping out a price for it. Tire kickers are the fool's gold of the client services world. They seem like the real deal, they talk like the real deal, but oftentimes they will never close. If you got some value out of this episode and the show over the past year, how about starting off this new year by providing an honest review in iTunes? I do read each and every single one, and it helps to hear your voice to know that what I'm doing is helpful to you. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.